But for our viewers for today, we got a nice salmon fly. It's sort of the blue charm kind of look to it, but it's not a blue charm. What is it?
It's called a Laxa Blue. It's an Icelandic pattern, and it's the general coloration of it is all blue except for a butt, and an orange butt and a black head. But what a beautiful pattern! Blue flies are really killing up in Iceland.
Oh yeah. How are they here?
They do well here, you know, like the blue doctor is one of the better flies of the big fowls, they say.
Oh, yeah?
But not many people use a blue-bodied fly.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why it's so good.
I guess.
Something different, you know?
Now it's something different as opposed to the traditional norm. It's, like you say, orange is a pretty hot pattern here on the Humber.
Yeah.
And maybe, you know.
I'm sure, well, I know that the Laxa Blue took a couple of fish for the Italians when they were here last year.
The Italians?
Yeah, I was guiding a couple of Italians.
You should explain.
Oh, well, I was outfitting on the lower Humber, and we had a couple of Italians, 4 Italians actually, and Ken Huckster was helping me guide them, and one of his guests, he said, you know, the things were pretty slow, so he hauled out a Laxa Blue and whapped in 2 fish pretty quick.
Oh.
So that's pretty impressive.
Ah, well, here is the list of materials you're going to need to help you tie that so-called Laxa Blue. The hook is number 4 low water. The thread is white 3/0 monocord, black 6/0 monocord. The tag is fine oval gold tinsel. The tail is yellow hackle fibers. The butt, fluorescent orange Antron wool. The ribs, oval gold tinsel. The body, medium blue floss. The throat is blue hackle. The wing is gray squirrel dyed blue. And the head is black. And that's what you're going to need to tie the Laxa Blue. And before we get started, we've got a new piece of equipment here on the show.
Oh, yes.
I'm not trying to plug any particular sponsor or anything like that, but it's a real cool thing. If you're out, I don't know if this is the only company that exclusively makes this product or type of product, but you remember sometimes Rob's tying a fly and he has to actually open up the grip and take the fly out and flip it over to work on the underbody of the fly or whatever you want to call it. Not with this one. This has got a, what do you call it, a rotating?
Rotary. This is called a rotary vise.
Look at that.
You just turn it right over. That saves you a lot of time. You can inspect materials. You can tie materials in without having to take out the hook and whatever.
I guess, and also too, I mean, if you're putting you're using your cement in that at different stages through the fly, it makes it easier because you don't have to actually touch your fly while it's still drying and stuff like that to take it out, flip it over and put it back. It's all stays locked in.
And this is, to me, this is the best voice on the market anyway. It's just so powerful. I mean, you can't turn it and hook out. I mean, you'll bend it or break it before it will come out. So it's just got that added feature. Excellent.
So this particular one is what?
Is a Regal.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I like it.
All right. Well, anyways, enough of that. Here we go. Tie the fly. What are we doing?
Okay. Now,
take it away.
We just gave the dressing for the fly, and I'm going to change it. We said we're going to put in.
You always do that.
I do this, you know, but I'm going to. I told you the standard pattern there is a sample. It's standard, but I'm going to make a little change to this fly. And I'll tell you the changes now shortly. Okay, I'm just going to tie my thread in as normal, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down an underbody of gold tinsel, and that will also be my tag.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat. So
That's a little different for you, isn't it?
No, I like pale-bodied flies. You've got to have something there to negate the dark shank. Now, white thread will do it to a degree, but not as well as tinsel. I mean, you know, you're just covering up the whole black shank, right? I'm just going to run some thread, or excuse me, some cement down there.
You got your bottle back.
Yeah. Looks a little more professional. I'm just going to...
Yeah. Rob is fully equipped for today's show. We're all very proud of him. He managed to bring it all down.
Okay, now we're just going to wrap that down edge to edge. There we go, and I'll go right down to the hook point, and reverse the flow of the tinsel and return right up to where I tied it in, just up past. Now I'm going back up to the loop. Okay. Beautiful.
Right over with the thread you tied in.
Yeah. Right. Now I've got that hook shank coated now, and you can't see any black material, shank at all, right?
No.
Okay, we'll just clip out the excess there now, and what we'll do is we're going to go down the back of the shank as we normally would if that tinsel wasn't there, right? Here we go. Now what I should do is lay down some cement again.
Get some oil for your chair.
Yeah, hey.
Squeak, squeak.
You gave me the the defective unit. Okay. Now what we'll do...
It really does make a big difference, though, like you say.
Oh yeah, you can see how nice and pale it is, eh?
Yeah.
And what'll happen too is that... okay, I've got my taguses right there. What it'll do is that it'll make that flask glow even brighter.
Wicked.
Wicked, dude. Okay, now what we're going to do is put in some yellow hackle fibers for tail. And the particular fly that gentleman was using, he had it taught in the European style, I'll tell you now. He had the hackle fibers way out past the bend of the hook and whatever.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go even. Or just barely past, not very much.
So when you say a European style, is there an actual, like you can tell the difference between a traditional European and a traditional North American fly?
Oh yes, the Europeans were the inventors of the classic featherwing fly, just in the British Isles, and their flies, I mean, sometimes the wings and tails would be way, way, way past the bend. And a lot of times they still fish that way.
Yeah. So what's the advantage of, or why was it modified to bring it more into proportion?
Okay, to our proportions, what we encountered over in North America, especially in Newfoundland, Labrador, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick, we experienced a lot of low water conditions. And our flies, you know, in low water conditions, the fish is more apt to come up and nip at the back end of materials. So this is why you...
So if you have a lot of back end, he's going to miss the...
Yeah, he's going to miss it altogether.
Miss the hook altogether, okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, we'll put up some... I specified in the dressing fluorescent orange antran. And didn't I go and give that away to somebody? Good material too, so I got fluorescent orange nylon stretch, which is just beautiful material too. Now, we're going to make the butt about the same size as the tag, but 1 to 1, right? There, that's nice. Now, I'm going to just go up and clip some of this excess material right here. Now, our next material to tie in is the ribs, oval gold. And we'll just lay it in on the other side. Oop, slip. There we go. Now, I'll make one wrap, and I'm just going to turn that over just to see where it's laying in there. I'm going to pull that down just a little bit more.
Cool bites.
Yeah, see, your tinsel should come right directly off the bottom. Now, when you get it tied in, you can be just a little to the far side, because when you put pressure on when you're wrapping the tinsel, it'll come right off in the center. Okay, now we'll just wrap up through the body. Okay, now we're about a third, I guess. What do you got there?
Everything is rattling today.
Yeah. Okay, I got about a
Your
third.
hair stacker, you're rattling all over the place.
Well, I got some medium blue floss here. If I
Find
can find the end of it.
Is that a new roll, or?
Yeah, fairly new. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh, didn't get it all, though. I'll give it a little stretch and tear it up a little bit.
Problems with our floss.
Yeah, not
There we go.
There we go. We got it. Actually, this is flat wax thread. I couldn't get the proper blue in
I don't think you've ever tied a fly where you've ever had.
Well, you know, sometimes you got to...
You make do with what you have. I
Sure,
suppose.
sure.
Especially, if you don't happen to have a good fly supply shop in your area, you make do with what you have.
That's the Laxa Blue color. That's a nice color. It's a beautiful color. Okay, we'll tie that underneath. And go right up to the return loop with the eye now. That's beautiful. It's coming out real nice. Spin it, untwist it, flatten it. Beautiful. There we go. Now, we'll just trim this off right here on the bottom. I'll just inspect it by turning it over. Okay, yeah, there. Now we'll wrap our body. But what I'll do first now is I'll just drop down a little bit of glue or cement, right? For added security. And what'll happen is that will bleed right through the underbody, right down to the tinsel.
That's a handy feature too, that coil spring.
Yeah, it's we call it material clip. There we go. I ordered one for you, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. There we go. Now we'll just stroke the floss as we normally do and wrap it up through. There we are. Keep going.
Moaning and groaning.
Yeah, it's wax, you see. You can hear the wax there, can't you?
Seems to be the noisiest hooks and hackles ever.
Yes, rattling tables and rods and legs and...
All works.
There we go. We'll just wrap that down and make it a nice tapered body again, right? There we are. It's really working out nice now. That's important to have that nice taper. Now you can go with a straight body. That's all yourself. But salmon flies did have a taper.
So that color blue is actually referred to in buying it as Laxa Blue.
No. I don't know what the actual color is. I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll check my sources and see what they had to say. And for the next little while.
It is a different kind of blue. I mean, certainly not a navy blue or anything like that. And,
no. Medium blue, medium bright blue, I'd say.
You know.
What'd you say? Medium bright blue.
You're just the wrong person.
All right. There we go. And what we'll do now is just whip off that thread. And I'll tie in my black thread, which I conveniently left over here, didn't I? Yeah. Oh, you got it. What a nice fella.
Trying to feel useful today. Not doing a very good job of it, but I'm trying.
You're doing all right, John. Now, and we'll make our customary 5 ribs. If I can get the tinsel up, there we go.
There you go.
Beautiful. That's nice. What I'll do now is I'll just wrap that off, inspect it. Looking good.
Looking good.
Yeah. And there we are.
Okay.
Okay, now what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to double this hackle. Everybody knows that technique I'll do now.
It's old hat, right?
Old
We're going to
hat,
have to come up with a new one because we're getting bored with this doubling hackle technique.
But I'll guarantee you it makes a nice fly, doesn't it? You know, nice throat. As opposed to just laying the fibers in, right?
So again, if this is the first time you happen to be seeing this technique, he's twisting them over in his hand.
Doubling the hackle.
Between them, and therefore doubling the size.
Yeah.
And
now,
getting all the fibers going in the one direction.
And we'll show our viewers, look.
Okay.
See, it's all coming off one side.
Yep.
Now, we're just going to tie that in here.
I developed that technique, by the way, in case you're wondering.
my friend, you weren't even thought of.
As usual.
Yeah. No, it's the English developed that technique. The English were great fly tyers. Still are. Okay, now we're just going to wrap it forward in nice, close, tight, even turns. Right. There we are. Beautiful. 3
loops.
3 times.
Is 3 a standard number, or you just do it until you get it?
It's experience 3 to 4, depending on the fly, right?
Okay.
Could be 2.
And I guess the thickness of the hackle in that as well.
Yeah. Okay, we got that wrapped off, and what I'll do is I'll just separate that, and I'll wrap back on the hackle fibers. And now what I'll do is, that's nice, beautiful. See how nice that sticks out from the body?
Yep.
Okay, now for the wing. I'll just
what is this, squirrel tail?
Gray squirrel tail dye blue.
Bullwinkle's friend.
Yeah.
What's his name? Rocky.
Yeah. I forgot about the gem, actually. I don't go around watching those shows these days, you know.
Well, it doesn't mean I watched it this morning or anything.
I betcha.
I did have a childhood.
Yes, I guess. Here we
Still
go.
experiencing it at times.
Oh, well, here we go. Well, I'm just going to cut that off.
Okay.
And take it in thirds again. Cement the stubs of our wing butts. There we go. And
we're going to do the rule of thirds.
right on. 1, 2, and then 3. Beautiful. Actually, what I did was I wrapped a little bit too far back, but it's not too bad a fly.
If you do say so yourself.
Yeah, no, it came out nice. Tis a pretty pattern.
A nice looking fly.
It is.
And of course, the whip finished. Way to end all your flies.
Yes. There we are. Here.
All right, there you have it. The Laxa